In January 1968, the night of Seoul was chaos itself. Today's destination is Mount Bulgat, 종로구, 서울. The major event in 1968 was Vietnam War. In other words, the war with the United States in the course of Vietnam's unification. At this time, South Korea and North Korea were in a truce, and North Korea was feeling a sense of crisis with the idea that the United States would turn the Korean Peninsula into a battlefield after Vietnam. And North Vietnamese leader Ho Chi Minh asked North Korean leader Kim Il-sung for military aid. However, North Korea was unable to provide military aid at this time of anxiety. So Kim Il-sung offered indirect aid instead of military aid. The indirect support was the Blue House attack. Here, Blue House, Cheong Wa Dae is the presidential residence. On January 21st, 1968, 31 heavily armed guerrillas from the 124 Army unit belongings to the North National Security Agency infiltrated Seoul to surprise the presidential office. North Korea tried to delay South Korea's military aid to Vietnam by assassinating the South Korean president and causing confusion. Actually, in April 1968, U.S. President Johnson asked for additional Korean troops. Hi there! This place where I'm standing now was controlled by Korean government for 52 years after Cheong Wa Dae Raid on January 21st, 1968. Partially, it was open to the public from November 1st, 2020. The 31 North Korean Special Forces members who infiltrate the South Korean War recently 2,400 guerrilla warfare units belonging to the North Ministry of National Defense. The criteria for selecting Special Forces were to be unmarried and young people around the age of 25. The selected Special Forces left Kaesong City on January 17th after being ordered to raid Cheong Wa Dae on Sunday night, January 21st. Why did it have to be Sunday night on the 21st? There were two reasons for that. First, they thought the South Korean president must be at his residence on Sunday night. The second reason was that Monday, the 22nd, was the day of the college entrance exam, so they thought that South Koreans were probably all interested in it. The backpack they had brought to infiltrate the South at the time included the South military uniform, machine gun, pistol, binocular, field jacket, grenade, dagger, chewing gum, map, trench coat, gloves, suit, wristwatch, etc. And there were dried squid and taffy as a meal because the fire wasn't available for operation. Their infiltration routes are as follows. January 17th, 8 p.m., leave Kaesong City. January 17th, 11 p.m., broke through DMZ fence. January 18th, 10 p.m., crossed the Imjin River. January 19th, 5 a.m., arrived at Mountain Sambong in Paju. January 21st, 5 a.m., arrived at Mount Buga behind the Cheong Wa Dae. While the North Korean Special Forces were on the move, they accidentally ran into the Fort Woodcutter Wu brothers at a hill in Paju, Gyeonggi Province at around 2 p.m. on January 19th, and they radioed the North Korea to ask what to do, but they decided to save them through a boat because they couldn't decrypt the codes was sent back from the North Korea. The Wu brothers were released around 7 p.m. and immediately went down and ran to a nearby police substation to report this. Therefore, the news was notified to the U.S. and South Korean troops through the police station from police substation and issued an emergency alert nationwide. The Korean army tracked them down after confirming that they were heading to Seoul. However, it was difficult to track down North Korean Special Forces as they traveled as fast as 10 kilometers per hour. When the North Korean Special Forces arrived at Chamun checkpoint, which is nearby the Cheong Wa Dae, they had already been changed to a trench coat they brought. But detectives at the checkpoint identified the guns in their trench coat. And the North Korean Special Forces, who mistook the regular buses as support forces of the South Korean military, threw grenades on the bus and fled in all directions. After they were scattered everywhere, there were large and small battles while tracked them down, which killed a total of 30 South Korean soldiers, police and civilians, and injured about 50 others. And 29 of the 31 North Korean Special Forces members were killed. One fled to North Korea. The other one surrendered. And he was the second lieutenant, Kim Shinjo. Kim Shinjo was discovered by the South Korean military while he was moving Hongjae-dong early on January 22nd. At the time, he tried to blow himself up to death, but he felt it was unfair to kill himself there. And he kept wanting to leave, so he put the grenade on the ground and surrendered. When Kim Shinjo, who arrested at the time, held a press conference, the following answers surprised the entire Korean people. This mission is, it's taking President Park's neck up and shooting the rest of executives. A few years later, after being released for trial, he defected to South Korea, married, and he became a pastor. He is now 78 years old and changed his name to Kim Jae-hyun because of the name frequently mentioned in textbook. And the youngest of Woo's brothers later became police officer, and they still keep in touch with Kim Shinjo. After that, the South Korean government deciphered the code the North Korean Special Forces couldn't have deciphered. It was included written to the unit and the cancellation of the operation. Meanwhile, North Korea denied sending special forces to the south and refused to take over the bodies of 29 soldiers. There has been some changes in the Republic of Korea since the Cheong Wa Dae Raid. Number 1. Identification card of South Korea. This ID card is designed to distinguish one's identity by fingerprints, photographs, and address, etc. Number 2. Establishment of reserve forces. Number 3. New 5-minute standby group. Number 4. The Republic of Korea and U.S. combined military exercise is held annually. Number 5. Establishment of the 3rd Military Academy. Number 6. Army and Marine Corps extended service by 6 months. Navy and Air Force extended service by 3 months. Number 7. The beginning of guerrilla training. Number 8. Changing the GOP barbed wire guarding method. Number 9. The establishment of Silmido unit. Number 10. Establishment of riot police. Number 11. Closing of Seoul's Northern Gate. It was opened to the public in April 2006. Number 12. Closing the Uiryang Road. It was opened to the public in 2009. Number 13. Closing the 김신조루트. It has been partially opened since November 1st, 2020. It's said that Korea has been invaded about 931 times by foreign forces in its half-million-year history. Roughly, it was invaded by foreign forces about once every 5 years. So people who fought together to fight against the foreign forces were divided into the North and South, and became the people pointed guns at each other. So far, I'm Heather. Camera is Wu. Thank you.